The pros and cons of Davison, Michigan. If you're interested in purchasing a home, be sure that you investigate all the pros and cons of the area that you are choosing to live in. Hi there, if you're new here and you're new to me, my name is Luane. I'm with the Glover Agency in Metro Detroit. I work out of our Fenton location, and I love to make videos about Fenton, Grand Blanc, and Davison. And if you're into that kind of thing, be sure that you give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and stick around to the end. Because when you do that, you will get notified weekly when we drop a new video, and we'll get to meet again, if you'd like to. Today, we're continuing our series on affordable communities in southern Genesee County. When it comes to Genesee County, I'm kind of your Genesee County concierge. Not only did I grow up here and I've lived here my entire life, but my family were some of the first settlers to this area. So, located off of M15 and just a little bit south of I-69 is the city of Davison, Michigan. And right off the bat, we're going to start with our first con, and that is commuting to Detroit. Now, with I-69 running right south of it, you've got great access to the east and to the west, but to get to I-75, you pretty much have to go down M15, which is a two-lane road outside of town, all the way down to Clarkston, where I-75 entrance is. And even though that's only a 20-mile commute, because it's a two-lane road, at rush hour, when buses are picking up and dropping off and people are all heading in the same direction, it can be murder. And it can literally take you 35 to 40 minutes just to get to I-75. So if you're commuting to, downtown Detroit, this might not be the town for you. It will add to your commute. I got to experience this again yesterday. I had to go to the Metro Detroit area, and where I live, the entrance to I-75 was blocked off, and they're diverting everybody down on a detour to pick up the expressway about 20 miles south of there. And I thought, well, it's going to be busy because I'm going to be traveling at rush hour. Maybe to avoid that snarl, I could run over to M15 and just go down M15. I could have done that, and I did do that, but what I didn't count on was getting 3 to 4 inches of fresh snow early yesterday morning, and the road crews had not had time to clear anything off. So the roads were not only slippery, but they were packed. And I got onto M15 about 10 miles south of Davison, so I only had another 10 to get down to the expressway. And between the traffic and the icy roads, it took me over 40 minutes. And I was once again reminded why my husband and I chose to move out to Grand Blanc so we could be a little closer to the 75 entrance. But if you don't have to commute or you're a work from home person, that's not a problem, right? Now, Davison has its own really charming downtown area, and the local economy thrives. The downtown area is located just 1 block east of M15, and the small town atmosphere is really one of the biggest factors in why people choose to live in Davison. Let's explore what makes this such a vibrant city and a desirable place to call home. The small town atmosphere is big in Davison, and it is one of the most alluring factors. You have tree-lined streets with sidewalks and historic homes in a really welcoming community. Residents often say that Davison is a place where your neighbors become like family. And if you like your family, that's a pro. Our next con has to do with the noise. If you have a 5-lane highway running right through the middle of town, you are going to have some road noise. And also remember, there is an expressway just south of town as well. So you will hear some road noise from that. So one of the cons about Davison is the train that goes through the downtown area. The train runs from east to west or west to east, whichever direction it's going at that time. And when the railroad crossings come down, it cuts off every north and south street in town. And there's no way to go around this train. It goes all the way into Flint and all the way into Lapeer. So you're just going to have to sit there and be okay with it. And really, it's not that big of a problem though. However, some people just don't want to deal with that. It can be noisy. The train goes right through the downtown area. There are many homes that do abut the railroad tracks and some businesses. And I guess as a whole, most people in Davison just get kind of used to it. But if you come from a really quiet area, maybe you had some acreage or something and you're moving into the city, you're going to notice it. And of course, the trains never come at opportune times. They always come when you're already running late for an appointment or to pick the kids up from school. So if you're traveling through town, you just give yourself, build in a little extra time. Now, I personally enjoyed the train. Not waiting for it, but I didn't mind hearing it in the background, and I kind of missed it when we moved away from the city. Now, the downtown area in Davison exudes charm. There's many local restaurants and boutiques. Some of the newer restaurants there are the Agitated Grape. They're kind of known for their everything but the kitchen sink Bloody Mary. There's a authentic Mexican restaurant called El Chorrito downtown. And also the Davison Hotel has been renovated and is now a really popular spot to catch appetizers in the local game. And of course, we can't mention restaurants in Davison without mentioning Whitey's. Whitey's is kind of an icon in Davison. They have been there for almost 70 years and are being run by their third generation of family now. And they are known for their amazing fish and chips. Apparently, they're world renowned for their fish and chips, because I was traveling in Florida many years ago. I was at the rental car running a car, and the gentleman there noticed I was from Davison, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever been to Whitey's?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course I've been to Whitey's." And he had mentioned how he had visited there and that he had the best fish and chips he ever had, and they had everybody talking about it at the counter. So it was kind of a bit of a culture shock to me that other people knew about Whitey's. And they serve other things there too, just besides fish and chips. But one thing about Whitey's is it's a great place to grab a drink in the bar or have dinner. But when a train goes by, hold on to your hat. Whitey's abuts the railroad tracks. So when that train goes by, it's literally, not only can you hear it, but you will feel the train going by in the restaurant. And that just kind of lends to its charm. Whether you're grabbing a cup of coffee at one of the local cafes or just browsing through the boutiques in downtown, you're going to notice that there is like a warmth and a familiarity that kind of just permeates the entire city. Now, our next con is the schools run on a balanced calendar. And what's a balanced calendar? Well, you've maybe heard of year-round school. It's kind of like that. So in Davison, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, they made the decision that they were going to change their school year, and they now start school in mid-August, and they run through till around the end of June. Kids only get about 6 or 7 weeks off during the summer instead of, 8 or 12, depending on where you live. As well as the breaks that all schools get, which is Christmas, President's Day, Thanksgiving, and spring break, you also get a week off throughout other months of the year. And these are sometimes called intercessions. And oftentimes schools will offer like extracurricular activities for kids who are going to be staying at the school or, going to be at childcare or whatever, so that they have things to do. One of the things that a lot of families really love about this balanced school year is not only do their kids retain more knowledge through the summer because they're not off for as long, but you also can take your family vacations at off-peak times. Think about it. If you book a vacation at Christmas, the prices are sky high and everywhere is packed because every school in the world is off. Same thing goes for spring break, President's Day, and Thanksgiving. But with their schedule, you can take your vacations at different times of the year that are off-peak. So it can be a great way to get around and see the world for a little less money and with a few less people. So that might be a pro to some people, but some people may not like that type of schedule. Many families are drawn to Davison for their excellent schools and their family-friendly environment. And they offer a range of education opportunities and a lot of extracurricular activities for students of all ages. Niche.com rates Davison schools a B. Now, as I said, they run on a balanced calendar, and that is all of the schools, elementary, middle school, and high school, but you may end up liking that. From their award-winning elementary schools to their nationally recognized high school, parents can rest assured that their children are receiving a quality education in Davison. I may be out of cons here, but I'm not surprised because the pros definitely outweigh the cons of living in Davison. Despite its small town feel, Davison offers its residents a wide range of convenient access to everything, all the amenities and services that you get in a larger city. And most of these are located just a short drive. The major highway, I-69, gives access to US 23 and also the neighboring cities of Flint, Lansing, Ann Arbor, Saginaw, and Lapeer. Residents enjoy a variety of shopping, dining, and entertainment options. And all of this is nearby, so it ensures that you can have your needs met without having to travel too far. The city is also home to many parks and recreational facilities. And of course, we have to mention the Abernathy Regional Park. Now, many years ago, this park was just kind of a little neglected place that had a swing set and some old tennis courts and a teeter-totter. And that was it. You drove back in there, let your kids play on the teeter-totter, and that was it. However, about 26 years ago, the entire community got together and they funded and also donated their manpower to build a huge playscape in the regional park. And that really changed. That was the beginning of a huge change in this park. First of all, the playscape is amazing. The kids love it. I loved it as a parent because it was gated. So if your kids were in there playing and you were sitting outside, you didn't have to worry about them escaping and going off somewhere else. They were all kind of contained right there. And they've really maintained this playscape well. I know many communities have torn down the playscapes that they built because they weren't maintained, or sometimes they were vandalized and they just couldn't take care of them any longer. But now they've actually expanded the park all the way through to the next north and south road, which is Gale, and they have all kinds of activities there. There's a sledding hill, there's baseball diamonds, there's a dog park, there's walking trails, and they even put in a lake with a beach for swimming there. So if you love to be outside, there is a wide variety of things that you can do in the regional park. Another pro of Davison is affordable cost of living without sacrificing the quality of life. Housing options range from historic homes with character to more modern developments that reach a wide range of preferences. The lower cost of living that residents enjoy still comes with a high quality lifestyle and great schools. And you get all of that without breaking the bank. And this makes Davison a very attractive destination for individuals and families alike. One little fact about Davison, and this is kind of a pro and a con. The pro is that Davison is located almost completely in a rural development area. And what rural development is it's a type of financing that is offered from the government to incentivize people to move there. So when you purchase a home in Davison, it's very possible that you can do so with zero down. So it's a great and attractive place for first-time home buyers to buy. The con to that is that housing is very scarce in Davison for this reason. So if you are buying a home in Davison, and depending on what your price range is, it might be a bit of a search, but will be well worth it. Now, as I mentioned before, I did live in Davison myself for more than 20 years, and I really loved it there. It was very walkable. I was able to ride my bike everywhere. The schools were excellent. My mother-in-law lived right around the corner. I know that sounds like a nightmare, right? But my mother-in-law still lives in the same house there. She's 93 years old and she still works full-time. So she's going strong, and we never worry about her safety in Davison. And she has amazing neighbors that also look out for her and help her with snow removal or things like that. And in general, it is a great place for seniors. There are 2 senior citizen apartment complexes in downtown, and the rent is based on income. And those communities are within walking distance to grocery stores, drugstores, parks, boutiques, and restaurants. So you don't even have to have a car to enjoy the downtown area of Davison. Well, that pretty much wraps up all the good, the bad, and the ugly about Davison. I really appreciate you tuning in today. And if you'd like more information about Davison, rural development financing, or anything else, you can use my link below to my calendar. The Calendly link will allow you to schedule a 15-minute meeting, and I can answer any questions that you might have. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.